All right, everyone, welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We've got a Link to the Past, No Major Glitches League match for you guys. This is a Dark World Division Round 1 match between FoxLisk and Matt7898. On comms today, we've got Clear Mouse and Ack the Boker. Hopefully I pronounced that right. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic tonight. Yes, and I know I can't speak for Ak because I think he's very capable of speaking for himself, but I believe that was the correct pronunciation. How you doing, Ak? How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing well. I do have one question though. It sounded like he said this is the No Major Glitches League.
That is correct. Yes.
So this isn't rando then, right? I might be in the wrong. I think I joined the wrong room here.
If you're potentially just coming off of SGL, which I believe was pretty much all of rando centric, you might be a little bit confusing. And Fox and Matt, in addition to being extremely talented runners here at NMG, they are also very good at rando. So I can definitely see the confusion.
Yeah, even more confused as you're talking. I keep looking over to my right, expecting to see you because yes, we did just get off of that event at Speed Gaming Live where we both were there. Even Matt was there.
That's true. I guess Fox is kind of the odd animal out in this case. It was so good. Oh man. I mean, if you ever get a chance to do live commentary, like I highly recommend it.
It's much more fun, yeah. And if your commentator, says something dumb, you can literally just like reach over and smack them. It's a good time.
Oh no. I'm beginning to already see the downsides of live commentary. But speaking of, looks like we are off. As you said, Ak, NMG, so this is no major glitches. And despite what you may think about the save and quit technique, it is technically not, I believe, considered a major glitch, but it is something that is not allowed in this category. So,
good. I like that.
Oh, yeah, and, I certainly know that maybe last year or so, there has been, like vanilla preset stuff for rando has gotten a little bit more popular. Maybe stemmed off from trying to encourage people, to do more NMG, on the vanilla game. I believe there are some categories that do allow save and quit to kind of get, rando players a bit more accustomed into, try and find the route and such, things like that. But
yeah, sure, kind of a preset that keeps kind of the quality of life stuff that was kind of featured in rando, but you still have to kind of go through the same execution-based stuff that you see in the base game.
Yeah. And of course, one major difference, no pun intended for major glitches, is that, talk about quality of life stuff. We do actually see that we do speak Japanese here in Hyrule. I'm not sure, if it's a requirement to actually understand what our uncle, for example, is talking about, but, we all we care about in this case is getting the sword and shield.
Yeah, no one's complaining. As long as he gives us the sword, we're good.
Yes. Oh, you only care about the sword? What about the shield? Have you never been to Swamp Palace?
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. That shield is very important for Swamp. That is correct. And I'll be 100% honest, I completely forgot that's where you get that. I'll come around to it. Just give me a second here. I'm trying to, allocate myself.
I would say, okay, maybe not. This may be not necessarily a true statement, but especially for like rando runners, maybe they first, maybe start with like the randomizer. It's kind of like a good, refresher to kind of know where the original things are, especially like pots, resources, especially for this particular route, just because the vanilla speedrun has been around for such a long time. It's been
very well optimized.
Yeah, to the point where the resource route, at least for arrows, maybe it's a bit more fixed. Maybe for bombs, more of runners' preferences. But you really know where all of the primary arrows are, primary bombs. You also know the secondary, ternary, all of the backup.
Can you keep going further with these exponential words here? I was learning a lot there.
I'm unfortunately not a very good compass. I think I can count up to maybe 3. Unfortunately.
Okay, well, that works for me.
Yeah, one of course sad thing is that unfortunately, at least for the NMG vanilla any percent run in this case, we unfortunately will not be opening any dungeon items. Not that there is a dungeon item here, at least a compass here in in Escape. But
looks like a much cleaner ball and chain fight there on FoxLisk side. Matt clanked a couple of times there, so losing a little bit of time.
Yeah, excellent. Actually, good point. Actually, yeah, especially we should probably mention something about these runners PBs and actually how good they are. Both Matt and Fox are 124 runners, and
yeah, if you don't know what that means, that's incredible.
Yeah. So the world record actually was recently broken earlier this year by Eddie. He actually broke the 123 barrier. Actually has a 122. For the longest time, Ari held the record at 123.00. But finally, it was broken. But I mean, like to be within a minute, or and change of like the world record. Actually is ridiculous.
Especially given, all the attempts that they have to do to grind that. There are the, RNG factors in this game that can significantly add so much time onto your run as well.
Yeah, and you actually mentioned about the ball and chain guard. So both in this case runners end up doing a slash. That is the fastest way to try and kill the ball and chain guard. The quote unquote first or final boss of the entire game, whatever your preference would be. They're gonna be a little bit of slower strats, but they're definitely much safer. Like you can pick up for once, like pick up the pot that's nearby, right, and then throw it hard. But certainly, of course, fast speed comes with some, a bit more added risk. We kind of see on the Matt side, you mentioned Thirst too, right? Matt clinked a little bit. If you get hit, that's 1 heart of damage. And given that you only have 3 hearts, it's a little bit
yeah. I also noticed that they used different strategies on the first guard as well. Matt electing to hold his sword up and FoxLisk holding his sword left. I think left is a little bit faster, but it's a little bit more dangerous to kind of miss the spin because you may accidentally poke or something, but I'm not 100% certain on that.
Yeah, actually, and I don't know if it's also just trying to counter a little bit more, RNG or like enemy movement. Actually, see another one of the sources of RNG here in Escape. We got a lot of ropes.
Those look like snakes to me.
Well, they're really curvy and ferocious ropes.
Oh, okay.
They've got a little bit of teeth. You probably don't want to tie anything up with those ropes, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's more like a grappling hook then, right? But, yeah.
you think this is like an
getting
early
a little off subject here.
Yeah. Well, do you think this is like an early hook shot in this case?
Man.
Looks like actually maybe I'm not sure in this case if Fox got a little bit of a bad RNG or just he had a little bit of further key rats. But good thing in this case we have the boomerang can basically
get handled it really well too. It's I was looking at that situation. I felt like if I was in his shoes, I would have most certainly hit the rat with my boomerang and then walked off, leaving that key behind, and made it all the way to the door and no way in. So good on him for getting that there.
All right, looks like we actually end up exiting Escape at some pretty nice 5:50-ish time. We actually, of course, the commentators actually get a little bit of sneak preview on their splits, so at least we're coming out a little bit ahead, I think, for Matt's side.
Okay. Yeah, so if Matt keeps up, he is going to PB 100%. He is on pace. Everybody get
perfect.
Insane. Yeah, this is very exciting.
Okay, well, looks like actually, both runners are opting to pick up the Sanctuary Heart. I believe, in this case, Matt actually told Fox to skip it as part
I think
of their
even his file name said he was going to skip it. So.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a chat here with Fox. I don't know if he's abusing his admin powers to, override whatever Matt, only a participant, is trying to tell him about this game, so...
Little mind games, huh? But Matt already probably knows this too, so he might actually be really mad. They are allowed to watch the other runners. They might even tune in. I know FoxLisk loves to talk a lot while he plays.
It's really amazing, honestly. Like
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes you actually watch people also doing this during spoiler log as well. For rando when you're allowed to be in restream chat or other people's chat. It's like how do you in this case execute? Like your fingers are constantly busy, right? Doing controller inputs and mashing text boxes and whatnot, and then you're also trying to play at a high level and you're trying to chat. Like, do people have 4 arms?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering.
Okay.
He's claimed to be a fox, but maybe he's actually indeed just an octopus. But that seems like a really hard word to say out loud, so I can see why he changed it.
Yeah, well, I mean, foxes do have 4 paws, right? I don't know. I mean, Matt seems to be a human, so I don't really know how maybe this is why Matt doesn't chat.
I think it'd be really hard to play this game without those thumbs, though. So
that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's.
It seems pretty important.
Yeah, actually, that's actually one big, very distinction actually between humans and non-humans. I guess is the thumbs. Don't really know how you're supposed to control the D-pad. I guess unless you are actually one of maybe the few keyboard players out there. Famously, of course, Gerdo has a 124 playing on keyboard, which is also ridiculous, by the way.
Also having the luxury of seeing him do that live at Speed Gaming, and it is kind of an incredible thing just physically to watch.
Yeah, actually, speaking of NMG, right, a lot of participants at SGL also did, impromptu, including Matt as participant in impromptu NMG races.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and actually, like, I think it's really great to be able to see, in this case, kind of like a side-by-side, restreaming here between Matt and Fox, right, executing a high level, but it's like, man, live races all too. It's just super exciting.
Yeah, who all do we have in that race? I know we had Matt, Airy, Dainty, Relkin was there.
Yep. Yeah, all of these like Dark World League participants here, right?
Yeah, it was a stacked race.
Yeah. You ever see 6 screens of Bo Landmos act? I was so excited.
I'm surprised you didn't pass out on the spot.
I know. It was too much. I mean, the good thing I had support. And yes, Shady, who won? I believe there were 2 of them. I believe Ari won both. He had a 124.12 in the first one, and then he had a 123.40 something.
Yeah, I was going to say just guess, and I'll give you one try, but it seems like they figured it out. So
yeah. Yeah, speaking of though, okay, so we actually have made our way through Eastern Palace. Unfortunately, so at least for Matt, he got a nice 5 rupee drop. And so I think he should be set, at least for money for presumably the rest of the game. Yes, we only need actually a little bit. Fox, certainly not out of the woods yet because I guess foxes like to live in woods, but he will need a little bit of an extra rupee drop somewhere.
How important is that rupee drop?
I don't think it's like super important, but I think especially at this level, 124 runners, they probably don't want to go out of their way for anything.
Yeah.
I
believe if they get like a certain amount before that, it does allow them to skip, maybe grabbing like one of the 5s along the way, or like when it comes off the tree, just to save that little extra snippet of time.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Oh, Matt, even Bridger. Oh, but see, you know what? These popos just gonna help out Fox. And geez, okay. So not only that, Fox also had both arrow drops. Matt, unfortunately, is gonna.
Yeah. Did he get?
Yeah. He didn't get any.
Looks like he didn't get any of them.
Yeah. I mean, certainly not the end of the world, of course.
Nope,
because,
it's over.
No. But you've already said that Matt's gonna PB, right? Guaranteed, because he's ahead of his escape time.
Yeah, but it's still over. Okay, I suppose you kind of got me on that one.
Well, the bootsless part is certainly over, because do you know what we get from the Green Pendant Act? I don't know. It's one of those items that supposedly is it's
well revered. Yeah.
Hammer, ice rod. I do like these guesses. What we're gonna see probably on Matt's side is gonna get spoiled first. Again, we don't understand any Japanese, but it doesn't actually matter, because again, just like our uncle, we're just gonna take whatever this old man's gonna give us.
Man, looking at their splits too, they both had a 1055 or less Easterns, and that is insanely fast.
Yeah. Anything, right? So so like ballpark numbers, not necessarily for specifically like 124 runners, but anything under 6 minutes for escape, is considered to be pretty good. It's a good, like first guess. 11 minutes is kind of like the reference for Eastern Palace. So and anytime you get under this stuff, right, is always a feel good feeling. Speaking of feels good, we actually did get spin speed both on the first try. It's not worth your time potentially to retry if you miss it, so it's always you feel even better, right, when you end up getting it.
Yeah, I mean, doing things the faster way possible. I can imagine that you get a little bit of relief when we do things that way. Let's see if okay, a little bit of a difference in strategy here.
Oh man, that's actually a really nice screen there on Fox's side. Like, so spin speed not only, of course, is not necessarily like first, runner's first choice of technique to execute, but also if you're on spin speed, you the library doorway entry is pretty rough. It can be. It's very.
Oh yeah, trying to do those very finesse movements while you're moving that fast can be really difficult.
Yeah.
And it looks like that screen just ended up being faster there for Fox. I was kind of curious because you said, obviously if you don't get it first try, it's not good. Matt didn't even try it, so I thought maybe if they do it on the 0th try, that was better. But
you're right. Because we
clearly
of course
that's not
do
the
start
case.
counting
Yeah.
yeah. It looks like actually the both of them, actually decided to use their pause buffer, whenever they switched over to the book, kind of help them align themselves. Yeah, another kind of like difference in this case between the vanilla game and Rando. Rando, one of the qualities like you did mention before that we do get quick swap. That has become pretty much the standard, meaning that you don't have to open up your menu. Actually on the other hand though, having the menu open not only of course is a requirement, but also gives you that little bit of extra buffer, right, to be able to kind of position yourself.
Yeah, you can stop and then you have that time while you're waiting for the menu to load back in to see where you're at, where you need to be. I think it's really good practice too because they end up being like so methodical with their movements over the course of the run and always kind of have everything prepared out, which screen, where they menu, where they're going to do it. It's actually almost like a work of art when you see it in action.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah, you mentioned right this this run has been around for many years, well optimized, and it's not only necessarily like the the quote unquote route, right? It's actually like the controller inputs as well, right? Just in this case because when you end up menuing, and I will say that there are going to be kind of some runners' preferences in this case. Besides in this case, for example, they both chose in this case to use their pause buffer in order to line up their dashes, in South Shore area, right?
Yeah, right below Link's house. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Looks like ooh, oh my gosh, look at this.
Okay, looks like both of them getting the dash. Yeah.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we are synced, despite the fact that Matt ended up taking an uncharacteristic bonk trying to get into deserts.
I feel like they've been synced for the whole entire race almost. Fox does have a little bit of the advantage with the better PB, the better some of the best, but we've really only seen them go a screen between each other, kind of back and forth through, escape to Eastern here.
Yeah, and for the most part, we talk about quote unquote scripted fights a lot, especially for boss fights. Armos isn't necessarily quite scripted, but I think many people are familiar with the quick kill setup, right? I saw them both on Fox and Matt's side. But coming up though can probably be one of the first major portions of potentially some time divergence.
Yeah, I mean, not only just from the execution itself involved killing Landmo, but that it will have different RNG for them as well.
Oh yeah, that's also a very good point. As part of, in this case, when you're racing on the vanilla game, these are actually two separate instances. There is no seeding, for this. One runner can get terrible Landmo RNG, another runner can get 10 blue balls. Just I think Chex in the last season ended up getting 11 blue balls, when his opponent did not get 11 blue balls.
11 to 0?
It wasn't to 0, but it was something in the very low. Digits.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, anything compared to 11, I would imagine is a low number, but boy, that is a huge time disparity right there alone. Fox making it to the torches here first over Matt. So how many what's good for a Landmo fight? How many cycles do you think is good?
Well, I believe 2 is what their goal is. I believe there is an RNG first phase that can give them a 1 cycle, but I think they'll probably be happy with 3 cycle. We're already getting some. I think Fox did not necessarily have a great first cycle. It looks like Matt's actually making some pretty dang good progress here. I unfortunately didn't. Oh my gosh!
Oh, just missing it there on Matt's. That was so close.
Both Matt and Fox. Unfortunately, that last Landmo just getting the better of themselves.
He's very sneaky.
Actually, but just like that, we actually got a little bit more of a. Was that 4 cycles for both?
I believe so.
Okay.
And there we have Fox talking about his fight as well. I think honestly, I might just reserve my commentary. And then wait to read what Fox says, and I'll just repeat that, and I'll just be like, see, I know what I'm talking about. That seems like a really good strategy.
Yeah, and actually, the not to, of course, spoil any of the restream magic, there is a very slight delay, just because of, getting everyone's Twitch streams together and all that stuff. So you may actually see Fox, kind of mention things just a little bit before, when they actually happen.
No, he's just predicting how he thinks he's going to do, and somehow he's always right.
You know, if I can see the future, you know, I feel like I might go buy one of those like $1 billion lotto ticket numbers.
Why?
Is
So you
that
could just
still
stay
there?
at home and learn NMG?
If I had $1 billion, you
Uh-huh.
know what? I will. You know what? If I had $1 billion, I will stay home and learn NMG. I will make that promise.
Okay. If I had $1 billion, I will not do that, but I might hire somebody, perhaps maybe Clearmouse, just to do it for me.
Okay, you know
And truth
what?
be told, I bet she'll be bought off pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap. My opening bid starts at, let's say, $300 million. How's that?
Okay. I have a feeling you'll do it for a lot less than that. So let's not play games.
Well, that's actually probably true. You know, I did. You know, like I would be pretty happy, honestly, with like a notepad. You know, just.
Oh, well, I was gonna shoot a little higher than that, but like whatever.
Okay.
You're sold.
All right, so yeah, in this case, part of the NMG, you know, features is that you know, like
He
text
talks to
matching.
us.
Yes. Is Fox gonna fit? I know Fox is very, you know, he's very limber.
I think he should be able to fit
Okay.
underneath it, but boy, it looks pretty close there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We had plenty of room.
Look at that. Yeah, you know, foxes are actually, they have a lot of fur, and honestly, it doesn't take up very much room. So it's probably
Yeah,
just more
yeah.
like volume. You know, the actual like body inside is.
Yeah. It's just like, you know, watching a cat crawl through underneath the hinge of a door there. Yeah, that's exactly what we saw.
But actually, you know, just try for, you know, again, you know, you mentioned like, so we actually had a pretty, you know, similar, at least like landmass time or like out of desert. You know, we're kind of like back synced, and you know, honestly, like without kind of little like minor maneuver, you know, we're back into very very minor time differences.
Yeah, they refuse to have any divergence in their routes so far, but man, we've already been talking about it. One boss away that can really just, you know, swing the advantage that one person has over the other.
Swing, push, bully, you know, whatever your verb of choice is. I will say though that, you know, probably outside of that one hit that Fox ended up taking, you know, kind of around like the old man area, you know, coming into Hera with this much health is actually
yeah, very actually
quite
impressive
rare.
from both of them. You might, you know, be watching this and think like, oh man, I can do this. This game's not that hard. And then, you know, you after resetting 13 times and finally getting your first, you know, 9 cycle Lambo, you try to make it over to Hera and you just die 400 times trying to climb the mountain. And you're like, how do they do it? Yeah. That's been my experience playing this.
So, but do you think you'll have a better experience if somebody pays you like $300 million to start running NMG?
Absolutely, but I didn't know that was on the table.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, like if you're a billionaire, you know, you actually might also be able to get some Stalfos to behave better. You know, Matt, unfortunately, just having a little bit of trouble lighting those torches. Yeah, just because like he's got a little bit of interference play, and kind of just like that, you know, Fox kind of overtakes the lead just by a little bit.
Great Turtles room from there too. Another one of these rooms that, in my opinion, is a little bit more tricky than most. Having to like line up and pick up that pot, and sometimes you grab the wrong one. Sometimes you miss the turtle and hit the switch. Sometimes you miss everything. So excellent for both of them.
Sometimes, oftentimes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things I would also say that it's just harder to, I would say, appreciate just how again good these guys are, because everything they do is like first try, early bomb, just with the chest turn on Matt's side.
Incredible.
You know, it is just amazing. Oh man, look at this though. You know, Matt is just really getting bullied left and right.
A little bit of a Kanongo barrier there.
Yeah, and also, yes, also, you know, DoomTap's kind of pointing out in chat that Matt also is slightly delayed, but he does, in fact, have one extra bomb. He kind of waited for the beetle to drop it in the first room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I was trying to figure out where he got that from.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm sure Fox also does this too, but, you know, Matt also he's very, very good at keeping track of, like, prize packs and such. So, very much is very aware of his resource route, especially for bombs.
Okay.
Oh, look at these! Look at these nice Moldorm fights. I mean, do you think somebody threw like, you know, $100 million or something at Moldorm, like, because, you know, or because he behaves so well.
maybe they did, but maybe he just spent all of his money in this high-rise castle, because I imagine that the value of land where that castle is located is probably not very cheap.
That's actually a good point. It's kind of like it's kind of like the only plot of land around. Jeez, how did Matt escape that dead rock?
Yeah, I was wondering that myself.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, it looks like the Fox. Oh, all right, stopping his dash a little bit early. This actually is arguably one of the worst screens in this case to bonk off of, going up and going
absolutely.
down. Matt also being pretty conscious of his arrow count. Remember, in this case, he didn't get any arrow drops, and unfortunately...
Right, yeah, he was still short from all the arrow drops in Eastern because he missed both of the ones from the Igors.
Yeah, so he did have to take a little bit of extra time again, but he is now fully back up to arrow health. Probably in this case because I guess in this case we're gonna try and now get the rupees that literally grow on trees, because you know we have already spent again our hundreds of millions of dollars apparently on rent and real estate.
Yep.
So we gotta make up our coffers in some other way.
Yeah, the Palace of Darkness Hotel is not cheap. So that's kind of the money that we're looking for right now. So yeah, both of them kind of running through the screen, making sure that they can have 4 enemies killed and not taking any damage by the time they get to the next tree pole.
Yeah, but that's right. And the most important part, as you said, is that we cannot take damage. At least according to the route, in this case, it's kind of up to your preference as to which 4 enemies you kill. You kind of saw Matt go after the bird. I think Foxes went after the buzz blob, maybe. I'm not actually didn't quite actually catch that part, but it's kind of up to you as to what you decide to do. But the important part is do not get hit.
Yeah, do not get hit.
Yeah. Now, of course, it may sound...
the bird there. That's kind of a weird enemy to kill there, too. You kind of have to make sure you stagger your dash just ever so slightly. So you don't dash past him, but also you can't wait long enough, or else he just runs into you. So.
Yeah, Matt and Fox, of course, running past the probably the hardest obstacle in Lost Woods, which is the mushroom. Especially at this level, in this case, the mushroom in the middle of the game, of course, if you kind of play it casually, mushroom you can turn into the wishes shop, and then you get the powder. And powder is an amazingly strong safety, right? Powder the anti-fairies, get the bug neck, keep fairies, and whatnot. Really good. You can actually in this case, you could fake powder. Maybe you don't even have to go in and actually turn the mushroom to anything else.
Yep.
But the point is that it is considered a safety, and when you get to 124 levels, maybe 125, at some point,
we're not here to play safe. We're here to play fast.
Exactly. Like you just drop the safety, and as you mentioned before, right? Muscle memory, the way that you plan out the routes and your executions and menus. Especially menus, when you are not used to having that mushroom there, every single one of your menus just kind of goes awry.
Nice first and second rooms here from Fox. Making sure to take no damage and dashing through those guards to keep his prize pack alive so he can make sure to secure that fairy that he's going to hopefully receive in Turtle Rock.
Yeah. One of the lesser known or maybe discovered things about this game, probably early on, is that apparently if you dash kill enemies, the prize pack doesn't advance. I'm not sure how you're supposed to figure this stuff out, by the way.
I mean, I don't. Would you just be thinking all these times while you're dashing, you're like, man, I keep getting so unlucky.
I mean, maybe,
But I can see that, something that you just don't think about.
By the way, I will say though, speaking of skill, not luck, Matt, with the chest turn, the most important, arguably, chest turn, at least of the game.
Really?
So the reason is that Matt has actually said that if you can do a chest turn to the right of that screen, you can get to take a peek, with the light cone for the enemy RNG. So you have time in this case during the cutscene and to kind of try and react and plan out, what you're gonna do. That's why that chest turn is so
awesome.
important. Yeah.
Man. These rooms are so slick over here from Fox. I'm trying to come up with things to say. I just kind of sit here with my mouth agape as I'm watching it because it is just incredible to see this kind of execution.
Yeah, and not only that, he also manages to pick it up. I think there was an arrow drop as well. So he is, in addition to the regular arrows that you can get from the pod. So it's just so nice.
Oh, when we were talking about safeties earlier, I was thinking, how you said they're not getting the mushroom because they, we're trying to go fast and not do safety. And I was remembering, both of them grabbing Sankart, but it looks like somebody in chat beat me to the punch on that one.
Very, very true.
But also, I would never judge either of them for doing that because my level of play that hard is mandatory.
You know, even for you actually we talk about safeties, right? So, you know, people on let's say like the 133 level, right? Like Blaine, Airy, you know, somewhat more infamous for skipping or sorry for skipping Sankart because you really kind of gotta save those 3 seconds, right? But in a race, even it's not like you can just, as you said, make 400 attempts and then like that's the one you want, right? You got
Right.
one shot.
Yeah.
Right? If you die here, it is very, very painful.
Yeah, definitely. Dying is not good. That's my commentary for today. Oh, looks like we're not getting pretty good luck here on blue balls here on Fox's side. I know I've seen at least 2. And I've seen quite a few on Matt's side as well. I don't know how people keep track of this when they're doing this.
You think they have blue ball counters like on the side? It's some people like if you don't have live split, is you gotta hit the button every single time that you go on to like the next section. Do you think they have that for blue balls?
I have no idea.
Fox here in chat giving us a potential freebie. This is a lot, but while we just, in this case, like to, sit here and spend some quality time, with our runners, they're at least in the same position.
Yeah, it looks like it's not going well for both of them. Can see them too, kind of positioning where they reflect Aghanim, because he does have random spots where he teleports to the room. They do try to push him kind of towards the center, and then obviously on his fourth shot trying to push him up so he has less warp time.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. People, talk about like, this basic split is just basically just how to go for it. But oh my gosh, you were right. Matt actually just got 3 blue balls in a row, and again, this is one of the consequences of running racing. In this case, the vanilla game is that you cannot guarantee, and actually most likely you will have completely different blue balls. Oh my gosh, Matt.
Okay,
Matt,
I think so that's sorry.
8 so far.
Yeah, just 8. No big deal. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, let's just look at it this way. Let's just say maybe one of them got 2 blue balls and the other one got 0. I don't know if that's applicable, but that's how I want to think about it.
Okay.
It makes me happier.
So
those numbers were too big.
Yeah. Shady says it's 9. What do you think, Ak? About
9? That's a lot.
Yeah. So we're apparently faced with not 9 blue balls on Fox's side and 9 blue balls on Matt's side. I would also like to remind everybody that 9 is also a very important number in this game. It's not quite this dungeon, but when we get to Thieves Town, keep in mind that maybe 9 is a sign of good luck.
We don't want to spoil it yet, but just keep that number 9 in the back of your head, because we're gonna blow your mind in Thieves Town. I promise you. Yeah, good on Fox. They're avoiding the arrow. That is definitely a huge time loss if you accidentally get hit there, because he has exactly enough money to open this. And Kiki, for some reason, charges you money when you get hit. That doesn't really make much sense.
Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You think this is how he can actually, amass his $300 billion fortune?
Wait, insurance fraud? Yeah, I guess
so. Is that what we said?
Yeah. Insurance fraud and overpriced hotels.
Yeah, I can actually just imagine you've got little minion monkeys, chasing after ambulances and such.
Yeah. Oh no, they just walk in front of cars and crosswalks.
Yeah.
And
oh man.
Lord.
Did you see how close that Ropa was to Matt? That also looked pretty dangerous.
Yeah, but Matt was not phased. He was not scared.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think either of them were.
Yeah, but also, also speaking of though, it's also pretty important that Matt did not get hit because 113 and 111 rupees is just really you've got no room for margin.
Yeah. Yeah, you have your backup track of mirroring over there and getting, I guess, the money from Saha, but boy, that is a lot of time.
Yeah, that is actually quite painful. But of course, we talk about them, actually getting money from tree pulls. Getting Saha rupees actually is a very viable strat. Because because in the back, of course, there are 100 rupees, from Saha, and you can actually that will basically set you. You don't have to worry about anything else. You get hit as basically, not necessarily many times as you want, but I mean, you're just basically set. You don't have to worry about anything.
I think there's bombs back there too, in case you wanted to even be a little bit more goofy in the run. So
Yeah, speaking of bombs, though, we're actually gonna come up here at least first on Fox's side because he got, in this case, among other things, fewer blue balls than Matt. This is gonna be one of the first points where we actually gonna see the very, very much importance of bombs.
Couple of extra menus there, making sure to set up, but nice. Only having to use one. After he pulled out the mirror there, and then just did a sword buffer down, so
yeah,
pretty good recovery.
Yeah. And
well, I mean, you don't even lose time there either, so you're gonna menu anyways.
Yeah, and I think it's something like, I want to say something like you can menu buffer like 35.
yeah. No, there's a lovely video out there showing the time save of someone menu buffering. I think like 30-something times versus the other person going around to get the key. It's kind of hilarious to see the cross comparison. That's a good one. I remember seeing that and just laughing.
Alright, also nice hammer jump for Matt. Of course, look at that. You know, Matt is just slowly gaining time with those chest turns, honestly.
Yeah. He is gaining time with those chest turns, but you know, with the rate Fox is going right now, he might just run out of chests. That's going to be the problem.
You're right. This isn't rando. We know in this case where all the important items are.
Yeah, we're only going to open a few, you know, X amount more of those, so...
Yeah, actually, and speaking of so Fox actually just got through mimics in the back of pod. He actually did a really nice job killing all of them, and not only, of course, he also got a five arrow pack drop. You can never have too many arrows. I think whenever we see in this case the drop is just super nice. Matt almost making it a super smooth statue dragon.
Smooth?
Almost. It was just like a little bit of a tiny hiccup, but it was.
I feel like there's another word for that.
Well, you know, actually, this is ZSR, right? So and it's also pretty late, so I think we can actually say sexy statue.
Oh, wait, you can't say that in other places?
I don't know what the ratings are.
Wait a minute.
We don't want to get censored here.
I'm just saying the movie Titanic is rated PG-13, and let's just say I saw some stuff in that movie, so I don't see why sexy statues that big of a deal.
That's actually a really good point here. I did not remember that particular movie scene. It's just now. Alright, so I think in this case, Fox ended up having a pretty good turtles as well. Oh my gosh, though.
Yeah, excellent helmet fight there too.
Back of pod, absolutely no problem for Fox. No, in this case, fireballs that he had really worried about, but helmet basically just stood still. Matt, though, in this case, kind of get the same thing. Yeah, he did have a pretty good turtles room as well.
And yeah, to what you said, Matt also did not get the 5 arrow drops there, so a little bit light. Looks like he's still trying to get his spin speed here, so he's taking a couple of other slashes. Didn't quite get it.
Yeah.
Still working on it. I think we've gotten it now.
Yeah. So the spin speed method is actually not necessarily like quote unquote recent, but it's more recent probably than some of the other techniques. So before this, so what you can do is you can arm spin speed, and then as you in this case use the hammer, the spin speed offsets the hammer's hitbox, so it actually is a bit more palatable to use, because if you ever try to use the hammer regularly, a little bit more unpredictable and something that is very undesirable. And as a result, right, it used to be a very dangerous fight with Helmet Sword, because we can see in this case, right, Helmet does 2 hearts of damage.
Actually, like one of the most insane recent discoveries was just knowing that when you activate spin speed, that it extends your hammer hitbox ever so slightly, turning that fight into something that feels a little bit more bearable, into when I play a guaranteed reset.
So I mean, Helma, I would say,
getting hit by the bird there.
That is, we're kind of seeing the dangers here of Dark World, right? All these enemies. Helma does 2 hearts. For some reason, though, this overworld, bird, though, does 3 hearts of damage.
I see what you did there. But yeah, that's 3 hearts. That's pretty much gone, and you don't really have a good opportunity to get those back. Until you get to that, Dungeon Thieves Town, and then the hearts are kind of out of the way. I don't know, maybe you can get a fairy sometimes in those bushes, but I don't know if that's, ever something you want to do. I'm uncertain. All I know is I do hate that bird with a passion as well.
What about the other birds?
Oh no, like all of them, but like specifically that one.
Okay. Because you know, like there's one in Meyer. If I guess if you ever take a look at like Bumper Ledge or something, not that I think we ever go there in this particular run, but,
yeah.
You know, like they're all there, like just waiting to say hello.
No, just that one, and like I mean, it's we get so much benefit of the doubt watching runners of this caliber do this run, but like God, I mean, this trek over to Thieves Town can just be so painful. You saw them doing that hammer dash down to get through the pegs. You miss that, then the guards are poking you in the butt. We can say that, right? Yeah, because Titanic.
Yes.
It's very easy to just end up, trying to make it to your Thieves Town split, and you got your heart beeps going, you're panicking, your chest is pounding. It can be not fun.
Yeah, and I highly suggest not taking more than 9 hearts of damage. That would be really unfortunate. Actually.
Yeah, that's definitely a really bad amount.
Yeah, although and you talked about actually being potentially poked here, and Fox has already kind of gone through the screen, but we kind of see Matt arming spin speed. This one is almost mandatory, because if you do not have spin speed, you cannot outrun that red guard. That red guard,
good old Usain Bolt there.
Yeah, he will completely mess you up.
Even with spin speed, it's I mean, obviously there's pretty much a guaranteed way to get around them, but you kind of have to know like. I guess I don't know how to explain it, but he can even hit you too, even though you have spin speed, if you kind of approach it the wrong way. It's a tricky screen.
Yeah, no, that's actually a very good point. Just because you said these guys make it look super easy. It's like, oh, I can do this, right?
Yeah.
Even their movement with spin speed, you getting spin speed does not guarantee you can actually get past that screen safely. There is a lot of subtlety in this game, and again, 124 runners, they have practiced this place like thousands of times probably by now. So to them, it feels very natural, but for us who are just learning, it is quite difficult.
I only see 903 attempts on Fox's split. Lord knows how accurate that is.
That could be. Maybe
it's less than 1,000. That's all I was trying to say.
All I remember was 9. You're in Thieves Town, so.
Oh yeah, the Dungeon of 9.
Yes. Speaking of though, all right. So Fox has actually made his way into Thieves Town. Did get the big key, which is of course in this case the only thing you need. But of course, certainly compared to Matt, he is down 3 hearts because he ended up taking a bit more of a tumble in the overworlds. Ooh, I do like that strat. Yeah.
Getting the God Pixel too there.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Fox has certainly done very nicely here so far in the back of Thieves Town.
I'm really impressed at that dash in that other room though. I feel like in order for him to do that, he had to read the RNG. He did a slash there, and I feel like he decided where he was going to dash. And I thought no way in hell were you ever going to make that dash, so that was very impressive.
Yeah, I think actually Matt does something very similar, but at least in this case, kind of buffer your movement, give you a little bit more time to think by in this case, doing the slashing your sword. But I think like the reading, as you said, reading the RNG, knowing in this case, let's say to go up versus down, right? I think is actually quite important.
See, we have Matt going down there. Did he have to? I don't know. Maybe we'll say yes. Also getting the God Pixel, but getting a little bit bullied with some bad RNG.
Oh, jeez, that's awful. There's another one of the reasons why, in this case, you want to actually have, just in general, you want more health, right? But there are going to be some cases where, especially the Hellway, it can, like, this is not enough health, because you can easily lose, like, 4 to 5. Kind of saw how much Matt kind of had to recover and just basically kind of, like, readjust himself.
And then, like, yeah, even when we're talking about losing health, it's not necessarily because like you don't want to lose health, because like getting hit is slower. I mean, it is, and then also dying is slower, which also it is. But even if things run their course, whenever they kill the boss at the end of the crystal cutscene, it has to refill their health, and that also takes time. And like I said, when you're at this caliber, that's time you don't want to be giving away.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point too, especially for this particular dungeon, right? For Thieves Town, right? You actually notice that the magic bar is completely full, so you are absolutely correct in that it is pure heart refills. Sometimes like for like Vitreous, right? Or like Cold Stare, right?
Right, when you use your magic and you can combo the heart refill with your magic, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, but this one is, I mean, and again, how do you end up getting, like, So Fox is a 124.30 PB, ranked number 13th on the leaderboards. And
That's a lot of numbers right now when there's only one number in my mind right now, and that number is 9, because that's exactly how many hits it takes to do that script executed to perfection there on Fox's side.
You always want to see, in this case, some, blind always being the upper left-hand corner, but yeah.
Yeah, I was always told that, seeing him in, like, the left, kind of like, halfway on the, in the light and half out of the light was a good spot to do it. The bad thing is when, no one really noticed that you missed all of the cycles a few times and had him, like, reset, to go all the way up there, the second time around, and then you're like, hey, he's in the right spot, but, we mean on the first try. But Matt, doing his scripted blind fight now. I'm sure he's done this thousands of times.
Yeah, and actually, especially maybe even for coming from, maybe Rando, there is a little bit more of a, let's say, meme potentially, with blind being a scripted fight and all that stuff. There are going to be still, every little, or, major, events actually does take practice. And in fact, actually, when Matt started grinding, from 125 to 124, there were probably things that he actually needed to relearn and adjust. One of them actually was including the blind fight, because hit number 8, not 9, was actually Ken actually gave him a little bit more trouble. So he was actually having some issues because he's keeping consistent. So nothing really in this game, especially at this level, we can't take for granted.
But now we are getting our tempered sword. Allows us to, the gods that super optimized and routed this game decided that getting tempered now saves you a lot of time because of the amount of extra damage you can do. It allows you to kill bosses faster. Kind of makes perfect sense why they don't get it before blind, because he takes standard damage from all sources. I feel like maybe how they handle this screen is somewhat of a newer optimization, but I'm uncertain. I think maybe they didn't used to mirror there. Maybe they lifted up the rock, but I fail to remember.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think like the more like the original strat was actually to mirror like right before the door. But in this case, I think some people ended up figuring out that this version, if you actually just leave the mirror right here and then kind of dash back, it's actually a little bit faster. I believe actually, Gerda 124 runner, he actually still does the older one.
Excellent. Fence dash there from Fox's side, making sure. And when you transition, you move 1 pixel over.
No, see, if fence dash is a good indicator for how well your Dark World's gonna go.
Oh, really? Is that that's the thing? Okay. Yes. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Matt may have won the Light World, battle, but I think Fox has a really good lead on him in for Dark Worlds.
Yeah, but what if Matt also gets fence dashed?
Well, as we are here in Skull Woods. At least on Fox's side. So maybe if Mac actually gets fence dash, he's gonna have a little bit of better luck in Skull Woods. That's gonna be the indicator.
Okay. Ooh. I'm good with that.
Yeah. All right. So Fox actually, keeping the Gipto behind the quote unquote admin table of Skull Woods.
Yeah. I thought I was watching professional football there for a minute. That was some excellent blocking he did there.
Yeah, this is and really, we actually talk about Matt, calling that room the easiest room in the game. Fox made it actually just look just as easy.
Wait, does Matt actually say that?
Correct. Yeah, he is somehow like the back of Skullwood's, big key retrieval. Like he is somehow like the Gipto Whisperer. Like he actually can do it really well.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well. I look forward to seeing this, Matt.
Yep.
You know what? Like he's whispering to those Gibdos. They listen to his siren song.
Yeah. It looks like he just got a little bit of. He didn't quite end up pulling the statue up all the way, and he did get a little bit bad luck of Gibdo's RNG in the back because he doesn't always have to
Right, he was blocking the door.
But this is that is matt78 easiest room of the game that he said that he will make an emo for soon.
Damn, what a cocky thing to say. I hate him that much more now.
Now, just because he took away all the kibble money from SGL 2021 against a certain somebody does not mean that we should bring our grudges here, for the broadcast. Matt, yes, of course, to win. Alright, looks like Fox in here, gonna take down Mothula. He has actually, just like with Matt's health, the bomb jump over to the fire rod not only, of course, is a fast way to get over there, but also does a really nice added feature that we don't have to have sword beams for this fight.
Yes, sword beams can be really obnoxious. Moth takes 4 tempered slashes to kill here.
Not 9, right?
Well, he got kind of close to 9, but that was for a different reason. It takes 4 actual, damage slashes to kill him, but when he's brushed up against those spikes, he doesn't take damage for some reason. I assume I get... What was it? Because they do gold damage? Is that
right,
why?
Right, it's gold sword damage, right. And, well, okay, sorry. So Moth is not supposed to take damage from the spikes because this is his arena. And it kind of, and so I think that's part of the reason
that makes a lot of sense too.
The programmers made it that way. But yes, coincidentally, in this case, if you actually, kind of sequence break out the game and actually, just get all the prizes, get the 5-6 crystals, go get Pyramid Fairy, and then get your gold sword, you can come back and beat Moth. The only way you can do damage to him is by poking, like pepper sword slash. Oh my god, dude!
That was a much better Moth fight there on Matt's side.
Yeah, that is a 9 out of 10 fight because there's only 1 spike and it was just barely kind of like it was basically barely shaking. That yes,
yeah, all right.
Very, very.
I'll piggyback on that ranking. 9 out of 10. Not because I really know how the scale works, but it's just because 9's a pretty cool number. Regardless, however, Matt still chasing down Fox, still trying to chase down that blue ball deficit, having 3 more. Looks like he hasn't really made up enough time on, any screen to really catch up to that deficit.
The mod fight certainly, does help, right? We actually kind of take a little bit extra time, on that fight. Definitely did not, have only 1 spike kind of like move out of his way. But, again, we are, almost 15 minutes in? There's about maybe 30-ish, 30 minutes left again. But I mean, this is basically the dangerous parts, or the most dangerous parts, of Dark World.
Yes.
We are coming up here, into Ice Palace. We're gonna pick up a few extra errands. We're gonna pick up the Quake Medallion because we're kind of in the way. We're gonna go pick up our flippers. Nice quick fish on Fox's side. He
did not throw that rock in the circle. Well, I literally watched it with my own 2 eyes. That was not even close.
So this is maybe the game favoring, Fox. It turns out that circles are not always, there's a reason why they call it hitbox, or hit rectangle, and not a circle. So apparently, it does register.
That makes a lot of sense when you break it down that way. Thanks you. I never knew.
By the way, though, I don't know if you caught it on Matt's site. A second use for that shield before Swamp Palace. He ended up blocking the spear from the moblins when he was dashing over to, on the right side.
I did not catch that. So
yeah, that is a beautiful, beautiful dash. Okay, we're just gonna throw.
Now, how wide does that square go?
Well, there was no fish that ended up popping up. No fish bone, no Zora. I'm thinking that it probably did not, register.
All right. I mean. I was expecting my mind to be blown away, and I was like, "Oh man, if that one works, I got some questions."
No, I think catfish, just because it's kind of so isolated, nobody really likes the grumpy fish, right? That's probably why he's not as rich, and he can't really afford very much, water real estate. That's probably why it didn't work.
Okay, that makes sense.
Someone needs to throw him a couple $1 million in order to, basically expand his yard a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, hey. So you're saying when I win the lottery, that's who I'm going to pay to run NMG for? the catfish.
I mean, you look at Zora, right? He's charging 500 rupees, per, flipper's purchase, right? Like, Catfish just gave you, Quake for free. Like, don't you think that, there could be a better business model for this?
How many rupees do you think Zora has made since this game has come out?
Man, that's a great question. You think it's over 300 million? You think about all the rando speeds,
It's at least over 9.
That is true. That is, you know, I guarantee you it is in fact over 9 rupees that he has made as profit. Considering he charges everything like 500 rupees at a time. Yeah, it's not a really great feeling, by the way. I mean, certainly not in the, you know, in the vanilla speedrun, right? You're never going to go to Zora without enough money.
Hopefully.
You're right. Hopefully, but it's certainly not a very good feeling when you end up not being able to afford hit the flippers the first time through.
Ooh.
Oh no, Fox. This also potentially, you know, I'm not actually quite as familiar with the bomb route, but you know, any time in this case when something doesn't go right, you know,
yeah, these bombs are usually kind of planned out.
and you actually see the difference, right? Matt has 4 bombs over to Fox's, you know, 1 right now. I mean, he should have 2. Probably was, you know, planning for that, but now, you know, because he had to kind of place the extra 1, I think he has to go buy, you know, go find another bomb jump. By the way, we only have 1 try for Ice Pile's bomb jump. Oh
That was a good readjustment there to slash down and slash up on that.
Yeesh. Are you ever nervous, by the way? Like, you know, Fox and Matt have done this like a million times, but I mean, like, you only have 1 shot. Like, do you get more nervous?
I am, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm nervous watching, so,
Okay.
but yeah, I imagine that. Sure, if this is your 1 and you know that like it could be like very I mean, it's just time consuming just from the time loss alone. And then, you know, Matt is actually going to be paying it forward. He didn't get the both the Stalfos there. Maybe Matt has also been playing a little bit too much rando, as these are rooms that you typically don't see.
Yeah, that's also a good point. Yeah, Matt was of course at SGL and you know, maintained. But yeah, I think he ended up placing the bomb to try and kill both Stalfos, kind of like what Fox was doing, just a little bit too low. So unfortunately, did not, you know, register to hit both of them. You know, again, I think Stalfos seems also pretty poor. You know, they also can't really afford. You know, I guess their personal space is just very, very limited, right?
Shit.
All right, coming down to Cold Stare. Looks very, very good so far. We've actually got a single poke with a spin. Really nicely done.
Excellent kill there. Nice little stair clip over there from Matt as well. But yeah, that is definitely the cold stare kill that like everyone aspires to learn.
Yeah, of course. You know, there are multiple ways you can kill a cold stare. I think this is actually probably one of the more popular ones. You can also do, I think, a double poke. I'm not actually sure if that one's actually faster. There's also 6 slash. That one I think is a little bit slower, but there are some people who, you know, again, you know, would you rather, you know, save the extra, let's say like, you know, like 30 frames or whatever to ensure a consistent and safe kill for you? You know,
I would like to go fast.
Yeah,
that's my strategy.
Some people, you know, swear by 6 slash. Shady, I think, is one of them.
Beautiful.
Korek is another one. This is also a very beautiful fight on Matt's side. Man.
Yeah, I assume the risk of the double poke is maybe accidentally taking a kiss from Cold Stare or 2.
Yeah. And another, you know,
kind of the same with 6 slash too.
Yeah, I mean, it all kind of depends on what I think you're comfortable with as well, right? You know, if you're kind of used to 6 slash, you're used to single poke, this is, in this case, what you want to do. Alright, so potentially speaking, I believe in this case there's still going to be no divergence, because I think in this case, Matt and Fox, looks like they're probably going to do a similar route. Oh my gosh, though, this Death Mountain is really eating into Fox's lead.
Okay.
This is the blue ball RNG sorry, Boulder RNG of Death Mountain.
There was yeah, that was a few attempts trying to get the spin speed there, but he did get it.
Yeah,
was that 9 tries?
Yeah, maybe he got 9 boulders falling on him, or maybe that's the 9th attempt. Matt though is where are we going, Matt? I believe that was intended for the mountain. I believe we're going to swamp. Never mind. Fox does his. Fox does his. Looks like he does his shopping, his errands, a little bit differently.
Okay. Yeah. So whenever Matt goes and gets his Ether Medine, it is slightly faster, just because he'll have, you know, the hook shot and he can
Yeah.
I'm not trying this to poke at anyone, but in theory he'll activate spin speed, you know, a little bit quicker, and then he can, you know, hook dash up the stairs.
So what Fox has experienced is actually the primary reason, I believe, is why Matt is in this case opting to go to Swamp first. There's a little bit of player preference. But so if you have the hookshot, as you said, the spin speed out of the Smith's chain in this case is the absolute last spin speed that you have to do for the rest of the game. You can in fact just hook dash, and a hook dash, you press what Y, with hookshot and an A at the same time on stairs is a ton easier than spin speed, and therefore you don't have to kind of struggle like that.
Yeah, and also maybe a little bit safer, for Fox too. I again, I apologize because I don't know their tendencies, but he'll have full health pretty much, guaranteed going into Mire.
Yep.
Whereas Death Mountain can be a little bit tricky, and having full health, for the Wiz Robes and Mire can really save time.
Yeah, no. So that is the other pro of, in this case, Fox's route, because as you said, so Fox did take a little bit of damage. Not too big a deal, but this is also Swamp Palace, the chronological second Dark World dungeon. So we're not typically here with so much health, and most things, for the most part, don't do that much damage, especially compared to like Ice Palace and like Mire and such.
Right.
And you do not need beams in the first or second rooms in order to make things go fast. Whereas there is, as you said, a very, very significant and noticeable difference if you have sword beams going in, which is full health, going into Mire.
Yeah, Mire. Always nice having beams and ice too for that first key there as well.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point as well. Like I'm not even sure in this case it was actually pointed out, but like sometimes that's like going into Ice Palace can it's very dangerous. Like you can get nicked like just by anything.
It's always when you're going into that portal and there's always that Zora that's just been sitting there waiting for you your whole life, just waiting to snipe you.
Well, I mean, I think all the little Zoras watched you pay 500 to like the big Zora.
Yeah, they're like, man, this guy's loaded. We gotta mug him. Yeah. Ooh,
Oh,
Matt missing the thing. Looked like the Stalfos got in his way.
Very, very important, by the way, to remember to hit the switch. I do not believe that I believe there has been at least one incident of runners forgetting to hit the switch in order to make it, to make the orange pegs go down.
Really?
Yes,
no.
that is a really terrible feeling.
Yeah, I would delete my Twitch account.
Oh no, Mac, don't say
that would be very embarrassing.
For what it's worth, if it does happen to you in rando, like you don't feel good, but at that point you're just like,
whatever.
I can right off his chest, right? Probably doesn't have anything, but there's a reason why they put the big key.
There's a reason why they hit the switch every time.
Yeah.
I will say it is incredible watching them go through Swamp. I don't know, maybe it doesn't feel like it's like one of the hardest dungeons, so to speak, because like again what you said, it is proclaimed to be the second Dark World dungeon, but it's a weird dungeon where like I don't know, everything's floating around, everything moves just a little bit differently. It's so easy for things to get in your way.
Yeah.
And maybe not a hard one to finish, but it's a hard one to finish fast.
Yeah, and in fact, we're kind of watching all these things kind of like nick you, right? Stalfos don't do a lot of damage, even though these fire, the fireballs also do kind of like one heart. I mean, because you have so much, it doesn't really matter much, right? But the issue though is that you're probably more annoyed at being stopped, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I have to go, restart my dash. I gotta, like readjust my position. That's probably the most important or most annoying parts.
Nice little hook dash there over to the pot, making sure you get the spin speed, allowing you to basically push the statue at maximum power.
That I think someone actually has to tell you that too, because I think just by watching this, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't even notice.
Like exactly, there's no indicator.
You don't get to see that, when actually they hookshot over, they're hookshotting over, pressing another button, unless they have input controls, and you're really paying attention.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say also, like, because this is also shallow water, this dungeon honestly is almost like the anti-boots.
Does Fox have to grab a bomb here? I'm uncertain.
I believe he should.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, he's actually gonna restock both. Yeah, because he was down a bomb, right? From Ice Palace.
I would imagine he would need that, I guess, to get into Ice Rod Cave, or you're not gonna get a bomb in Mire, I don't think, right?
No, You are not. I mean, you could, I think, get it maybe from a Stalfos drop, but like there are no bomb pots that you would get in Mirecraft.
Dude, that was a sick zero cycle there from Matt. And I'm just sitting there watching, like, literally, he's inside of the eye. Like, it was on top of him. How did he not get hit there?
Did you see, what Matt looked like at SGL? Like, that guy, I think...
To be fair, you're right. If Argus knew what Matt looked like, IRL, he probably wouldn't. He'd be like, no, I promise. I'm not taking any of your hearts. You can just have my crystal. Yeah. Like, I'm honestly surprised when we saw Argus, like, jump up into the air that he actually came back down. I thought the fight was just going to be over, because that's how scary Matt is.
Yeah, but it looks like, and of course, keep in mind, that Matt and, while Matt does look like he is actually a little bit ahead of Fox, especially going into the Crystal cutscene, and, of course, getting, in this case, a zero cycle Argus, keep in mind, of course, that Matt still has to go back and get Ether, so things are just going to be a little bit lopsided, or a little bit, offside.
If I were to guess, I would imagine Fox is still very much ahead in this race.
So I believe you're correct. There are definitely parts though where Fox's lead has been eroded a little bit. He did take a much longer time getting Ether because of some Death Mountain terribleness. Matt got a zero cycle Argus. Matt is definitely catching up in this case.
I don't think I've ever seen someone like flute and then do a spin speed and then like run into the bird at Mach speed on that screen as well. That was pretty nifty as well.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes you can't really tell just because of like the animation. Like, you do have iframes; they last much longer than you think. But so who cares in this case about Death Mountain? Damage because Matt, he knows where he needs to go in order to not take damage.
Yeah, how did that just happen? Did you see what Matt just did? He jumped off Death Mountain, but That's not a ledge you jump off of. That's a wall.
Sometimes, when you go too fast, the game just forgets to register some boundaries.
Okay, well. Does that mean that we've now, this is no longer an NMG run? It's now a NMG with maybe some MG?
Oh man, major glitches? Ooh, I don't know if we can allow this. Oh yeah, actually looks like though Matt, in addition to getting Ether, he's also getting his Ice Rod. This is of course depending on again player preference. And every time you get something new, it does in this case of course like change the menus, and this is probably again what Matt's used to.
Right.
So long as you get the Ice Rod before Turtle Rock, because if you're ever, let's say, running a rando seed, despite the Dunka stats telling you in this particular game, the Ice Rod is not most likely going to be in either Mimic Cave or Laser Bridge. It is in fact in Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah. Has anyone forgotten that? No, right?
From NMG League, I don't think so. But I also cannot promise that because I have not seen every single race.
Okay.
It is not some.
You've never seen it though.
I have not seen it, perhaps.
Good. Then it's never happened. We'll just leave it at that.
You're right. Alright, so...
But more importantly, I guess from Matt's side, even though he did, make those extracurricular trips up in the mountain, he did manage to keep his health full, which was most important for this room.
Oh man, that Popo though is kind of
weaseling all the way over to the left, that little jerk.
I mean, Matt has to, maintain his physique somehow, right? This is how he gets those extra reps.
Okay, by chasing down poor innocent creatures.
I mean,
I understand.
We're gonna do a separate. We're gonna do a second lap, on the mountain, right, to make sure you really got warm up in. And that's maybe why he can catch the Popo, right? Because
fair. All right.
Yeah, right. Ooh, was that a spark gamble? Did he actually go through and then Fox didn't think that he went through? It looks like because he's turned back.
That's some black magic tech that I am not familiar with that at all.
Yeah,
I know I've seen them do it, and I know sometimes they don't get hit, sometimes they do, and I never understand why.
Yeah, I mean it's iframe related because I guess you can potentially damage yourself forward, which is exactly what you want.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, as opposed to taking the slightly longer like upper route, right, to come just avoid the scam the spark completely. But again, these are 124 runners. They need to, as you said, go fast. Looks like though we are actually very healthy as well going into Vitreous. We do have, so we would like in this case to have, let's say 7 hearts. 5 is the minimum for a fast Vitreous kill, but 7 hearts is considered to be comfortable, especially for Fox and Matt. But what they're going to do is, we talked about health kind of being important, is that they want to be able to do damage with themselves off of the slime, because we don't want to take 4 hearts of damage, and then really use a bunch of sword spins in order to, kill Vitreous.
Wow, these are some nice spooky strats that we're seeing here as well. Able to shoot off that fire rod and then initiate the dash, and obviously having the courage that that fire rod is going to land on that anti-fairy, and then make the pegs lower. Yeah. Very smooth.
Mm-hmm. Although we're kind of watching this on, like just in this case, what Fox is doing. He's got a really nice textbook Vitreous fight out so far.
Just missing the 0 cycle, but that was very, very close to getting it. And then, yeah, my favorite fight in the game, Bow Vitreous there.
Bow Vitreous? So, I think it was a really good Bow Vitreous fight. Exactly 8 arrows. Like, it's very, predictable as well.
No, it was really good good one on his part.
I was gonna say, like, even Matt crossing over to try and get to the right side of Meyer for his big chest. He was actually denied even the opportunity to do Spark Gamble because the Fire Snake happened to be in the bottom, and so you can't really do much and like chase that thing. So unfortunately, he had to go up. But I would say from a Meyer perspective, actually looks like maybe Fox kind of clawed back a little bit more of his lead in this particular case. We are gonna see how Matt handles Spooky and Vitreous, but so far it looks like it's going quite well for him.
I do know some things about Fox, too. If anyone is ever curious about learning more stuff about the game, he is beyond informative. I remember, this is obviously rando related, but we had a race, and after that, he just kind of hung out with, I believe, Chex, or I don't remember who it was, but all he did was just sit there and go over tech. And I was in his stream. I literally just stayed there and lurked for 2 hours, and I learned so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
no.
An excellent source of knowledge. Mm-hmm. Ooh, nice 0 cycle there from Matt.
That's right. Yeah. Matt, of course, looks like kind of the same 2 eyeballs that were kind of lurking at the very end, but Matt cleaned them up quite well. Did you did you like that Bow Vitreous fight as well, Ak?
It was incredible. Like, I literally have no words for it.
Matt's boss fights so far has been very, very exemplar. His moth fight was 9 out of 10. Colster fight was, like an exemplary textbook fight. Vitreous was also quite nice.
He did get a 9 on his Helmosaur fight, but we, that was a 9 out of 20 on that, so we had to up the scale a little bit, but he definitely has 9s across the board on every single boss fight.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice Waffle House screen on Fox's side. Ooh, but unfortunately ended it with the bong, not quite getting over across the bridge. Oh yeah, actually, and kind of add on to how great Fox is that you had mentioned. So Fox, of course, very, very, very talented NMG runner. Certainly very involved in the community. He is actually one of the head admins of the NMG league seasons both 1 and 2. He is amazing at pretty much everything else, right? Like glitch stuff, especially as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he knows a ton of stuff with this.
Yeah, I believe the stuff he was talking about was like reverse. Say you were going to Aghanim, but you were like going from like castle to pedestal, and he just like legit had strategies for that screen going backwards. And I'm like, how do you know this stuff? I could not look away. It was like one of the like greatest little information sessions I've ever lurked on.
No, I mean, so many people, including Fox especially, put just forth so much time, like, to the community, right? As in giving back. As in, like, it's kind of one thing, I think, to know all this tech. It's kind of another thing to be able to, like, document it, tutorialize it.
Yeah. And then, as he's playing, he literally just throws the strategies of the room in the chat. And, like, I ask you not to do that, because, please, I'm impressed enough. You don't need to do that, or, you might be getting a call from me, all right, mister? Take it easy.
Man, phone call from. Alright, looks like though, man, I really wish I caught that quick warp if Fox got it, but Matt has demonstrated that this quick warp into opening up Turtle Rock is in fact super free. just you know, just land on the right pixel, you know, for the quick for the portal entry.
I feel like some funky stuff happened with those torches in TR, but I'm just gonna let that one go. Basically, anything I don't understand, even if it's right or wrong, I just chalk it up to me not understanding it. So
Okay, I didn't quite catch if what ended up happening, but
it was something I've never seen in that room before. But it's yeah, nobody put any attention on it.
All right, so this is do you remember when you talked about, you know, keeping our prize pack, you know, for a fairy, you know, back in Aga Tower? So this is where, you know, all our hard work and planning has potentially paid off. Fox didn't quite get it on the pokies in this particular place, but we are kind of seeing that, you know, both on Fox's side and Matt's side, we are going to probably take a little bit more damage boosting in order to get us through the rooms a bit faster. And, you know, being on green mail, you know, in this dungeon where everything does 3 to 4 hearts of damage, we would really like a, you know, fairy health refill. Be able to, you know, at least give us a little bit more survivability.
Is it like within the realm of possibility just to get like insanely unlucky and never see that fairy, like regardless?
So it is, I mean, I think it's actually really unlucky just because I think a Poke has 3 potential drops or something like that, maybe 4?
Yes.
Yeah, so like we want to be able to not advance it in Aga Tower. I think we saw Fox didn't get nothing from Pokies. We saw Matt get the heart. So Matt's next drop should be the fairy, but I think we're still kind of waiting here. 7 drops. Okay, thanks to Tap.
Okay.
But we're still waiting. Okay. Did Fox not want?
This is where I don't ask any questions. Okay. So
right, okay.
I just kind of watch, and I'm like,
that one is definitely still also new to me as well. But all right, so Matt.
We can see that. Yeah, Matt got his fairy.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, it looks like though. Actually, yeah.
And Fox got his as well. Yeah, because his health is very high right now.
Not only that, Fox actually getting through those Pokies, he absolutely avoided the 8-bomb drop as well. So it's kind of at this point, the only thing you really want outside of the fairy is that full magic refill. You don't, of course, it's not necessary, but it certainly does make the rest of your Turtle Rock trip a little bit, nicer. Right?
Okay.
You don't have to worry about.
That makes sense.
Magic, yeah. Unfortunately, didn't quite make it across the roller in time, but I'm just gonna take a little bit extra health. Not gonna be too big of a deal. Yeah, but Matt
getting the god RNG there.
Yeah. Oh man, though, but at what cost? We didn't get the full magic. It's okay, Matt. Matt will Matt will still be fine. It's just that he just has to be a little bit more conscious of his magic usage.
But I remember there's like an X amount of RNG patterns for that Poke Room, and I think there's like strategies on literally every one. I feel like, I don't know, if I was guessing, I would say it's 7, but that's literally just a guess.
I think it's 16. 16 total.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. 16.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's actually, I really appreciate it, actually, because when you say 7, we're just gonna add 9 to that, and you know what? Lo and behold, we have actually
everything. So, 9's always the answer to everything.
It's teamwork, Act. That's why we have 2 commentators for this.
No, we have one professional commentator, then we have another one who's just kind of sitting here drooling on himself.
No. Omega. Oh wow! All right, both Fox and Matt actually went for the early for the fast laser skill. Matt actually did a really nice job. But actually, we are on Trinex. Looks like this is going to be actually a very textbook fight here on Fox's side. Backdoor strats as well.
Yeah, making sure to do the backdoor strats. It's like the most consistent way to make sure that you basically don't get, like, I guess the second head swoop? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you would say it?
Yeah.
You can still do it from the front, but I would not say it's anywhere near as consistent as doing it from the back.
Yeah, no, I think you're right in this case, right? Like, consistency is probably, like the biggest part of especially running at this kind of level. Oh no.
Ooh. Yeah, missing that fire red shot.
But looks still okay. We've got actually good recovery on Matt's side. We actually see this, Fox using his pause buffer, when switching over to the hook shot, kind of just giving him that little bit of extra time, reading this case, the second phase of Trinex. But just like that, actually. So Fox is a little bit ahead of Matt right now with the crystal cutscene, but they're both going on to GT, which is, depending on what your opinions are, but some people consider this actually the most fun dungeon. It's also a very difficult dungeon. It's a very good combination of puzzle solving, I would say, and also just like straight up execution.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on this one. I think it is a very fun one. Very, very stressful dungeon is too, because like, you know, typically you don't want to take any damage going through the bottom. Yeah, it allows you to get your beams. You can hit the switch, you know, when you're going into mimics. Your equipment can also vary, I guess, when you go in as well, like making sure you have enough arrows. If you know, happen to have more arrows than not, I suppose it allows you to skip chests, but I'm really not too certain of, you know, all of the meta involved when it comes to GT, but I think you can route it differently based on your equipment.
Yeah, and right. So, you know, especially I guess when we get to, let's say, like Ice Armos, in the back, that is in fact, you know, behind Ice Armos is where the big key is.
Yes.
There is, of course, not only the big key there, but also there are bombs and arrows, you know, for your convenience. And yeah, depending on how many, you know, how many arrows you've used in the game, how many more you've picked up, you know, drops or whatnot, you can potentially even like skip those arrows. It just saves you that little bit of extra time too, right? So yeah, and it kind of depends on, you know, what you want to. Maybe you want to be a bit more liberal with arrows, because, you know, ranged weaponry is also, you know, quite nice. Ooh, I don't think
excellent room there. Especially with that Stalfos kind of in your way,
exactly,
and it can kind of mess everything up.
Yeah, you just see also like the little things too, right? You know, using the hook shot, because not like we have a boomerang, we've already switched over to the hook shot, but just using that little extra time, right, in order to go grab, you know, hook to the pot so you can get there just a little bit faster. We are also seeing in this case that both Matt and Fox, of course, being 124 runners, skipping the torch key. That is one of 3 keys that you can pick up in order for your GT climb. That is by far, of course, the safest one, and it literally is just bonk the torch, and there is your key, right? But of course, that is.
So why do they skip it if it's so easy?
Right. Didn't you say that we want to go fast? So that is actually the slowest out of the 3 keys. The other 2 are upstairs, and I believe in this case, both Matt and Fox will probably go for the pre-Moldorm small key.
Oh,
it's actually really beautiful, actually, how they end up doing it too. Like, it's just like
I'm really excited then.
Yeah. All right, yeah, that was actually a really nice chest grab on, you know, for the 10 arrows on Fox's side. So I think, you know, with the 18 arrows spent, I don't think he has to go get the chest in the back.
Did he not like have to wait like a certain amount of time for him to throw that bomb, so he would not take any like hit from that anti-fairy? It's just remarkable.
This is just how good he is.
Like, it's really annoying to like lose your magic there too.
Yeah, you're right, because, you know, so as you're kind of observing, right, we definitely want a full magic bar going up to GT. So it's not like the end of the world, I think, if you don't have it, because there are magic pots here, but again, picking up anything extra, taking a different route, you know, versus spending the 3 hearts here is just going to be extra time.
Matt's room there, a little bit more the one I'm familiar with, where basically as soon as you walk in, you have to have that bomb dropped immediately, and if you throw it over the pit, it will spawn that anti-fairy out of the way.
Yeah, and we actually see in this case that because Matt didn't grab the the chest right before Ice Armos, right, he has to kind of go to the back. It's not like a huge time difference, right? But, you know, I mean, this is how you save time. Alright, this is where the NMG runners really shine. Nice recovery on Fox's side, you know, in order to get past all of those cannonballs. Ooh, but Fox actually, I think he did get any arrow drops, but he is actually out of arrows. While they do not serve, you know, any real, you know, major purpose, it's always kind of nice to have, you know, like an extra 1 or 2 to be able to, you know, be able to use the gauntlet. Exactly.
In case one of these Zazecs, you know, run off to the side or something, you have an extra opportunity to kill him, but looks like he's, you know, just getting through just fine without him, yeah.
Yeah, the pink Zizak and G4, the 4th gauntlet room, can be a gigantic.
Yes. Well, those were some pretty quick gauntlet rooms there.
Alright, so we actually see that. Oh, just barely misses the landmost on the last fire rush shot. Matt also out of arrows. Man, these mimics are stingy. It looks like though Matt can take the extra time to pick up the pot arrows, because I think he probably wants at least 1 for maybe even next time, or maybe the room after. Yeah, just like what Matt does. It's definitely like a very, I would say, like a safe strat in order to try and shoot an arrow just on the chance that, you know, the Zizak decides to try and run away. The arrow kind of like pins it down, like in the path.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I never even thought about that. That's actually really smart. Yeah, because it won't kill him, right? But
oh, correct. Yeah, it won't kill him, but it'll stun him. Just like when you get hit, right? Like you're not the only one that has the power to be stunned. You know, the Zysack can too, and then you're just gonna
it makes
swoop
sense.
right in for that kill.
I mean, if someone like came into a room and shot me like in the chest with an arrow, I probably wouldn't be moving very fast either. So it actually does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, actually, you know, watching Fox and Matt run, you know, they also haven't died at all. Not that I wish dying, you know, on.
Wait, why are you bringing that up now?
Oh, you're right. I probably should have waited until after Ganon. But I mean, you know, like, man, these guys' boss fights have been so good. Normally, you know, you see so many run. Yeah, so that's the small key that.
Oh, I like that.
It's a really pretty room.
Yeah, use the iframes from the hook shot to kind of sneak past the anti-fairy, and then you kind of trap the other anti-fairy thing, the bunny beam, in you know, behind you. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see something very similar from that as well. But actually, and by the way, also, you know, I guess Moldrum 1 was also, you know, pretty nice. Moldrum 2 also behaved quite well for Fox. And look at this. And this is the reason why you end up wanting, you know, no bombs. You use your very last bomb there, and you get just a free, quote-unquote, quick swap over, in this case, to the hookshot. Oh, Matt, though, getting frame rolled by Moldworm.
Ooh.
How many was that? Was that 2?
I think that was 2. It looked like those two hit very close together, but he really made up for it with a very, very difficult to obtain triple there. Kind of got robbed, man. He hit literally 6, you know, balls back in his face, and you know, still had to do a 3 cycle. It's unlucky.
Yeah, but I mean, and again, you know, this is gonna be one of those times where maybe, I mean, it's certainly Fox did not get nice patterns, but you know, a 3 cycle is always something that you would probably shoot for. Hopefully, in this case, Matt's. We know for sure they're not gonna have the same patterns, but hopefully Matt's, you know, Agathite won't be, you know, too unkind. Oh, I think was that a double?
That was a double.
Okay.
Oh
my gosh!
That's the worst. The blue ball right there. This pattern looks a little scuffed. And it was. Okay.
Yeah, meanwhile, though, Fox has already dropped down to Ganon, so this is the last boss fight standing between himself and victory. Gonna try and set up to get the 1-on-1. Looks actually pretty good so far. Oh my gosh.
I've never seen the bonk before. That's kind of neat.
Oh my gosh, what is going on with Matt's Agathite?
Wait, he's still on this fight. I'm watching the other one.
Yeah.
Oh no, Matt.
I don't know what happened on that side. I mean, a combination of blue balls and bad patterns, but that was a really rough situation. Alright, so just like warps, they're also not seated, but apparently, you know, Ganon just really wants to dance.
Yeah. Making sure to get his torch glitch. Had his sword charged, ready to go. This is definitely something where you see the NMG runners shine, is the Ganon fights here. They do a really good job at almost like executing them perfectly. I mean, like, I say perfectly as in not missing a spin, but you know, they're so good they even sneak in, you know, extra spins every here and there where I don't even think it's possible. So
yeah, like you can get spins even before the torches go. So Matt's also gonna work on his 1-on-1. Looks good so far, avoiding the terrible bats. But you know that there was it was 9 + 3 spins on Fox's side, so he is actually just gonna wait, and he's gonna claim first place on this race for NMG.
GG's to him. Looks like he finished with a 1:25:30, which is actually an insanely fast time. Especially given he had 6 blue balls as well.
Yeah, 6 blue balls. Yeah, and this is a race, right? It's not like, you know, you talk about you know, these runners, you know, being, let's say, like 124, you know, PBs. I think Blaine said this, you know, in the last NMG tournament or league or whatnot. But it's like, if you can get within a minute or so of your PB, like, you've done really well, like, on a race. Especially for, as you said, right? Like, you can't control blue balls, you can't control warps. Like, there are lots of like things that, you know, that could go wrong, and you know, you're always gonna be very happy this time. Alright, Matt is, of course, just finishing up. This was actually, you know, I would say a pretty close race, you know, especially given the fact that Matt did have, what, 3 extra blue balls, you know, compared to Fox. But both runners ended up playing very, very well.
No, I mean, like, yeah, just the amount of skill that they showcase is it's beyond unspeakable. Like, I could try and explain like just how amazing everything it is that I saw, and it's just so hard to even catch everything, and I don't even know like 90% of the stuff I'm looking for.
Yeah. And and of course, for earlier this year, Matt's goal was actually to get a 124. I think after SGL 2021 from last year when he did win, right? I think he was talking to Ari at some point, and he said, "Okay, I'm gonna get my 124." And he started, beginning this year, and we talk about taking shifts at the NMG factory. Like this guy was like the best employee you'll ever find because he's doing like 2 shifts a day,
Yeah.
like very, very dedicated, and he cut down his entire time by from 125 to 124. It's really
Always asking the boss for extra overtime.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, you put in the work, and he got the results from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So Matt, in fact, has finished with looks like official time of 126.54. So again, very close race, all things considered. Both runners just played super well. All right. Hopefully, we can actually get some of these guys in for a chat.
Okay.
Yeah. Our restreamer.
What do you think Fox will have to say? He was like chatting with us the whole time. I mean.
Yeah, you're right. We're gonna ask him right now. We are now joined by both Fox and Matt. GG's, guys.
Yo, GG's.
Hey, GG.
So, Fox, we can start with you. So, Ak already said that maybe we don't you don't have anything else to say because you were already with us in chat all the time. But any other thoughts, I guess, about your particular experience here?
No, that was a really fun race. I couldn't really watch at the end, but I thought it was going to be a little closer than that. Did something happen to Matt and GT or two?
I kind of, mistakes were made in the end game. I already knew I lost. I was just kind of, trying to get it done.
Fair enough.
Fox, I guess I did have a question. So we did see that your shopping route did take you to Ether before Swamp. After your Death Mountain experience, would you consider now going to Swamp first? And Matt, would you support this?
It was almost bad enough to make me think about Boomer shopping, but not quite.
Fox, did you perform any overworld glitches on your way to Ether?
No, but I did hear that you did.
Because then yours could not have gone as badly as mine did.
I think it took me 6 tries to get spin speed or something. It was a tragedy.
I see. How many blue balls did you get, by the way?
I got 6. I hear you got 9.
I got 10. It was actually
10. Jesus.
Well, that's not quite cutting the checks, I think, but I'm really sorry. And honestly, like all things considered, you guys were like a minute apart for races. Like that is like I said, you guys played very, very well. Execution wise. Matt, I think your boss fights were super good. Like your moth fight, 9 out of 10.
This run looks bad, but I lost a minute and a half to Aghanim. Mind you, the Aghanim 2 was my fault, but it's not that bad of a run. Even with the shenanigans that happened.
Yeah, 10 blue balls is like 80 seconds or something.
I also 7 cycled Aghanim 2, but we won't need to talk about
it. Okay.
That was a little bit more of a minor detail. In fact, I think towards the end
happens.
Yeah, towards the end game, we're like, oh, okay, like Fox is starting as Aghanim 2. You actually did a nice 3 cycle, and then he started Gandalf. We looked over, and then like you were on to phase 3 or something. Matt was still on Aghanim 2, and we're like, wait, something happened.
Yeah. Oops. Some nasty patterns. I took some 50-50 gambles where I was going to get screwed, getting hit in the face with a blue ball, and I did twice, and just
Yeah.
So I guess I have another question. Fox, okay. I believe Matt told you to skip Sankart. What happened?
I got to the end of Sank, and it wasn't a very good escape, and I had full health, and I was like, am I strong enough? Do I have the power of the warrior spirit to skip Sankart? And I just didn't have it today. But, I tried. I just couldn't talk myself into it.
I don't think you used it at all, honestly. Like, your helmet fight was really good, so...
Yeah, I probably could have gotten away with it, but, why do it in a race?
It feels good to have it, yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, so I think this is maybe like the end of this end of week 1. Same format, right, Fox? Like 4 weeks of Swiss.
Yeah. Yep. 4 weeks of Swiss.
Yeah. So this was actually, quite the matchup, honestly. Like, to get within, well, basically this is like within a minute, right, ish, of your PBs. Like blue balls probably adjusted. So I think, again, you guys just played so well.
Yeah.
Did you have any warm up? I guess. Yeah. Did you guys have any warm ups before that? And Matt, I know you played at SGL. Like that was kind of like, and I think did you also do your entry run into the league at SGL as well?
Yeah, just before it. Yeah, I was only able to do one run. That was like submittable over the entire period. So luckily, I was able to get in.
I mean, like, you showed that you can definitely compete.
That run was almost as bad as this one. Don't worry.
No, look super good. I mean, I know, yeah. I mean, you talked about this race being fun. I think, again, I can't speak for Act, but I think this was also a really fun race to be able to commentate for.
No, I mean, I appreciate you guys letting me stick around. It's just, I feel like I didn't have too much to add, but I mean, I didn't really want to add anything. I just kind of wanted to watch how incredible you guys are at the game.
Appreciate that. I just have one question. Did I enter EGA 1 before Fox?
I don't think so.
I can't even beat Fox in the light world. Oh,
what was your entry time? I had a 38.
Oh, no, I wasn't even close to that. I had some nasty Moldorm RNG, though.
Oh, yeah, I had my land mode was pretty bad, but the rest of my light world was like quite solid, so.
I think you guys got the same number of cycles on land mode.
Yeah.
I had an early 4.
Oh, I don't know when, but some kind of 4, yeah.
Yeah, I think the last one just kind of like barely got away from you both, so it's kind of unfortunate. But honestly, like I think Light World, you were pretty close. It was just really like the Aghanim blue balls that kind of really separated things.
Yeah, shout out to Aghanim.
I actually should have watched the stream because I was pretty tilted after getting 10, but I would have been less tilted if I knew he got 6.
Yeah.
So you don't tune into him, Matt?
Nah, well, it depends like who I'm playing. If I'm playing Fox, I know I just have to go all out all the time, so there's no point in me watching the stream. Like I'm not going to adjust.
I just love watching. You guys were cracking me up. This was really funny. Great job, Ack and Clear Mouse.
Thank you.
Thanks. But I mean, I was gonna say, like, how can you type and listen to commentary and run? Like,
well, there were several places where I just lost tons of time because I was laughing and had to reply in chat. So maybe it's not a great idea, but I had fun.
Well, I want to be 100% honest. You beyond tilted me when you like literally were answering my questions about things that I wasn't asking you, but you just felt like answering anyways. Man, that was like, God. That's so impressive. I hate it.
I would like to also congratulate you, Matt, on getting the most important chest turn of the entire game. Good job.
Thank you. I was really the highlight of the run. It was right there. It was all downhill from there.
Oh, Matt, I did have a question for you. What's the easiest room in the game?
The mummy statue room in Skull Woods.
It's not, though. It's not even close. That room sucks.
Did you see? I crushed that room.
Matt, when's the emo coming, man?
It's coming. It will arrive at some point.
Fox, also, you had a really nice room on that one too. I don't know if you saw, like, you can go watch the VOD, Matt, but like his Gyptos was like on the other side of the statue. It literally just like stayed there as he was pushing the statue away.
It was like football.
Yeah, it was very polite.
I was like, I didn't even know they could stay like that too. But this is a great run, and again, like as part, I think one of the nice things, especially was mentioned in last season of League, was that it's very kind of like nice and bite-sized, right? As in it's 4 weeks, and you just play 4 matches, and that's kind of it. So you kind of get your fill in for NMG, and then you get basically just take a break after that. So it's not too long, it's not too short. I think it's actually really nice, and you're gonna get Dark World, Light World divisions. You're gonna get really good opponents.
That's the idea, yeah.
Nice.
All right. Any other thoughts? I guess you have more questions, Zach?
No, I mean I have lots of questions, but we'll be here all day. I know if I want my questions answered, I can just go watch Fox's stream. I know that they are more than informative, and anybody who wants to know more about it, I highly recommend you do that as well. So, And then Matt too, but like that's only because Matt's kind of like funny, not for the information side. So like information, Fox, entertainment, Matt.
Ak is definitely does not hold a grudge from SGL 2021, where Matt, may or may not have claimed the championship over, as someone who is sitting here in the commentary booth. So.
I guarantee you, whenever I saw Matt live, I completely got over that grudge because I'm like, bro, there's nothing you're going to be able to do, so you might want to let this one go.
Yeah. But seriously, thanks a lot, guys. I'm looking forward to the rest of these races.
Yeah, definitely. Best of luck to you both moving forward. So I think not all of the matches are in because there are a lot of matches things still left to go. But Fox, you're gonna face someone I think who is gonna be 1-0, and then Matt, you'll face someone who's 0-1, right? So still a lot of good people. Just because you've lost a match, by the way, in NMG does not mean that your next round of matchup is gonna be like cupcake or anything like that.
Yeah, we still got a bunch of races left to do. It looks like we've done about half the races. Hopefully we'll get a few more on ZSR later this week.
Mm-hmm.
What was the minimum time to get into the Light World division?
I don't remember exactly. I think it was like a mid 129.
Everyone's so good. That's insane. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe part of the intention of the NMG League is that I don't say it's necessarily like exclusive, but it certainly does encourage runners to put in some time, right?
Mm-hmm. As it should, of course.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's actually quite good. But yeah, I think maybe with that we'll kind of let ZSR wrap things up. So thank you so much, by the way, Fox and Matt. This was absolute blast to be able to watch you guys. Ak, thank you so much.
Thank you
for joining me. This was I think I had a blast doing it. always enjoy the Ak the Poker experience. So.
No, this was definitely the Clear Mouse experience. I was just along for the ride, so.
Well, GG to both of you. This is my cue to take it away. Thanks so much to the runners. It was a very fun match. We only have, like mentioned, right now one match on our schedule, but there should be more to populate soon. The one that we do have is at 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. That is Arier versus Bidey, another Dark World Division match. That is currently set for ZSR2, but that could change as the weekend kind of hypes up. So just keep an eye on the schedule. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and raid a race that is currently in progress. It is Chex Human versus Spleeby. Thanks so much, everyone.